Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? You're tracking your food, you're getting your workouts in, you're staying hydrated, but the scale, the mirror, they just don't budge. Yeah, I've kind of been there too, and that's actually what led me to test out these red light therapy belts. Now, you've probably seen the devices everywhere, lately online, the panels, the belts, red light therapy saunas, all of them claiming to help you burn fat with light. But does that actually work? So let's break down, the research, my honest experience, just using red light therapy for weight loss specifically. So I started testing red light therapy mainly for recovery and inflammation, not for weight loss. But then I kept seeing claims online about fat loss and how they can help you lose weight, especially claims surrounding things like targeting belly fat. And like a lot of you probably watching this, I was really skeptical at first. So do you just stand in front of a red light panel and then it just melts fat? Sounds like hype, right? But when I started digging into the science, things got a little interesting. So it turns out it's not only about melting fat, it's really how your fat cells respond to the light. And that's how your body mobilizes stored energy. So I'll walk you through the studies in a second, but first, here's what actually got me to test this and take it quite seriously. I bought a red light therapy belt and decided to committing to using it consistently about 4 to 5 times a week. Each session lasted about 30 minutes. Just for context, I always paired this with proper hydration and also getting my steps in right after. So I tried to be as active as possible. So no crazy expectations. I really just wanted to see if anything changed after I started doing this. Maybe my energy levels would change, the size of my waist, or maybe just my overall recovery. So how does red light therapy work? So here's exactly what's happening. When you shine red light or near infrared light on your body, it actually comes down to a concept called photobiomodulation. It's basically using light to influence the way your cells behave. See, most weight loss focused red light devices use wavelengths from 630 to 850 nanometers. These penetrate your skin, they hit your fat cells. These are your mitochondria, aka the powerhouses of your cell. And then that stimulation triggers something known as ATP production, which boosts cellular energy, simply put. And then, more importantly, studies now suggest that this light exposure causes temporary pores to form in your fat cells. This then means that the stored fat can get released into your bloodstream, where your body can now either burn it for fuel or just store it again if you're not being active. So no, red light therapy does not burn fat directly. It helps mobilize fat, which is why movement after your session is really beneficial. Now here's what the research says. Let's talk evidence. There's a study that used 630 to 680 nanometers of red light twice a week for 4 weeks. The participants in the study lost an average of about an inch off their waist. And the key here is that they didn't actually change their diet or their exercise. There's also a second study that showed red light therapy triggered the release of around 52 grams of fat per session. Now that's roughly the equivalent of 400 to 500 calories. Yeah, I had this same face when I read the study. I thought to myself, 400 calories, I don't know, it seems a little bit like exaggeration, but let's see. Here's the thing that a lot of studies emphasized. They said that the fat doesn't just vanish. It doesn't just burn itself. Your body might actually store it again if you're not active. So red light therapy actually works as a complement, not a shortcut. You still have to have these habits in place and just keep up with your, activity levels. And for those of you worried about facial fat loss, there's actually a few devices out there that I've looked up and read about that allegedly go up to 1,000 nanometer wavelengths. These use higher intensity to destroy fat cells through heat. But we'll save that conversation for another day. Now that's not the same as red light panels or belts that you're likely using at home. These devices are a little bit more specialized. So after a few consistent weeks of using red light therapy belts, here's what I noticed. First, my waist felt a tiny little bit tighter. Nothing extremely dramatic, I don't want to exaggerate it, but I did notice something. Also, I noticed less bloating, especially after long days of sitting, working out. Secondly, I got a boost in recovery. So if you're the type of person that can be a little bit more on the intense side, you might also want to try stacking it with different recovery methods like an infrared sauna or a sauna blanket. The biggest win for me, convenience. I could use it, it's very passive, very low effort, very easy to fit into my recovery routine. And then also mentally, there's just something, really satisfying about knowing that, I'm doing something productive for my body, even during my downtime. So let's break down the good and the not so good that I found out. So what I really liked is that it's super easy to use. It fits in really well with almost any routine. It's backed by a real and growing body of science. And then it works best when you also stack it with really good habits. You can target stubborn areas like your belly or your thighs or whatever you choose to. And here's what I didn't really like. They are not a magic pill. I guess that could be a good thing. You still need movement, you still need hydration, and you definitely still need sleep. So when you're shopping for a device, you really need to be careful and look at the fine print, read the intensity rate, and just do your research. You also need patience. The results are quite subtle, but they do add up over several weeks. So if you're out there and you're expecting dramatic overnight changes, this probably isn't for you. But who is it actually for? If you're already putting in the effort, great. If you're tracking your calories, you're staying active, and you're just paying attention to your health, then red light therapy give you even more leverage. Whether you're into biohacking, you're looking to optimize everything about your recovery and maybe even fat metabolism, or maybe you're just a very active person, dealing with inflammation and just worried about slow recovery, or maybe you're just a busy professional. You need a passive way that fits into your insane schedule. And lastly, if you're someone focused on longevity, you care about your metabolic health, you care about not just the quantity of your years, but also the quality, then red light therapy absolutely makes sense if you fit into one of those. Does red light therapy help with weight loss? The answer is yes, but it's not the main character. It is a supporting cast member that helps your other efforts pay off even more faster. Now for me, it's here to stay. It's something that I will continue to use and experiment with. If you want to dive deeper into red light therapy, specifically for weight loss, or which red light therapy devices are actually worth your time and your money, check out the full breakdown I did on my website. I'll drop the link in the description below. And if you're interested in more grounded reviews, more real testing, not just hype or clickbait, hit the subscribe button. I've got more content dropping pretty soon on just recovery tech, performance tools, and all the wellness gear that I've been using lately. Have you tried red light therapy yourself? Are you thinking about it? Or maybe you tried it, did it help you lose weight? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what's working for you. Share your experience, and let's have a conversation.